Good evening, people of Earth. We have a great show tonight, and I've had my eye on Elon Musk this election season. Left the left, endorsed DeSantis, rallied with Trump, and has broken a few laws along the way. Tonight, we are going to look at Elon Musk and try to make sense of all this. The duality of our two biggest political parties. One is the gas pedal, and the other is the brake pedal. And we need both to get to where we are going. And after the gas pedal tried to install a geopolitically neoliberal autopilot software, somebody tied a fat-ass rock on both pedals, and we did political donuts for 4 years. And in 2020, the populist left, having political daddy issues, and our closest thing to a founding father in this post-Buckley v.
versus Vallejo is the
Vallejo consumeristic wasteland gave the wheel to a corporatist neoliberal. Yay. And with the candidates that we have in front of us this year, we aren't getting a populist candidate. So pretty much sucks for everyone except for corporate America. That would be a common theme. So unlike you, I'm not freaking out about this election. Okay? Because, again, corporate America wins. And the most successful of them all is no doubt Elon Musk. Now, I remember back in the pre-COVID era, around 2018, I remember my first impression of Elon Musk was on Joe Rogan's podcast, and I remember generally liking Musk. Back when he was the Let's Touch Mars guy, I would have considered him a pretty strong leader and a good boss to work for, I would imagine. I remember thinking, he's powerful enough, he might run for office in the future, because he, at least at the time, gave me a anti-Trump vibe. Kind of like how Trump is for conservatives. He, in 2018, looked like he possibly could be to the progressive left. And I know that some people would see this and think, oh shit, before I forget, let me put this phone here because I'm expecting a call from my Republican GOP insider. When this phone rings, I very well may be doing the first shady move since getting into political media. Thank you, yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, this phone ringing and me discussing politics with a decently high-leveled individual is not the FCC violations that I am talking about. Because when you pay people to register, you are breaking. And when you have a lottery like that, you are breaking. Some people have this idea that this is a populist and outside little thing going on, standing up to the Washington machine. But those same people don't understand that the first step of the federal government getting as big as it is right now is because labor protections from assholes like these. For you, sure, the Supreme Court sold us out fucking 50 years ago and still counting. In 1974, the Supreme Court was faced with a lose-lose situation. Either you regulate the richest of us all, dumping stupid amounts of money into a candidate, or taking out money of politics, and then only those rich assholes would be the ones who could fund a campaign in the first place. The elite richest 1%, they used to have to manipulate you through the radio and the television set. But now they just do their shady shit out in the open, and like in an attempt to be the most controversial figure on Twitter and to get you to vote how they want you to vote. I control you and I control elites. Good night. Why the fuck have you not Pelosi Trump yet?
That's a really good question. Why has the GOP not Pelosi'd Trump? And I think it's a really simple question. And it's because the GOP isn't in the position of power to do so. The GOP, fundamentally, if you go back into its historical reasonings of existence, was a decentralized party platform. They didn't necessarily have individual beliefs. Rather, their one core belief was that slavery in the 1860s would not be expanded into Western states. They had no other beliefs. It was designed to be politically decentralized, allowing for individual beliefs across a wide platform. And so, kind of to connect that into modern day, that's why the GOP, as of now, has no power to Pelosi Trump. And I don't think it's that they don't want to. I think they much rather would. Just they're just not in the position to do something of that size, that magnitude. Trump has too much power, and they don't.
Oh, okay. That actually makes a lot of sense because like Trump is having like the poopiest campaign of modern politics right now. What do you think that says about his base's general education on civics and political science?
I mean, even without Trump's poopiest campaign of modern politics, I would say that my general assessment of general education on civics and political science is it's pretty bad, right? I mean, historically we know that that is a overlooked topic. That's just the reality of the situation. People don't necessarily care as much about social sciences or political studies, and so we definitely need to take a look at how we can approach re-educating the populace, and not only re-education, but education in the first place. How can we evolve our system of education into a more modern perspective of political science? We have so much more data on how things function, and we understand so much better legally of how our nation was built together, piece by piece, and how the founding fathers really looked at it. And so with that in mind, I think we can completely revamp our way of teaching, focus more on discussion and independent research and thought rather than centralized core curriculum. And so with that in mind, I would say, yeah, I think it has a lot to say, right? It's like, it is definitely reflective, but even outside of that simple reflection, it's very clear that politics has been going down in terms of importance in the educational field.
In the 2016 campaign, Trump got caught famously saying, "Grab them by the pussy," and many people on the left, including me, kind of thought that he was done for at that time because, like, who runs for office and gets caught in a scandal saying that? And it seems to be he seems to be caught in a couple controversies like every day, every week. Every week there's like 2 new ones, and it seems to kind of be a net positive for his political career. Why do right-leaning voters tend to double down on Trump every single time this happens?
I don't think they're necessarily doubling down. I just rather think that they don't care. It's not that they're really perceiving it as a positive or a negative. They're just perceiving it as a neutral, right? They see these headlines come out. And it's not that they're like, oh, that's so good, or oh, that's so bad. It's like, oh, yep, there's another headline. And so they've been able to, I would almost say, come to a point in intellectual disassociation, right? They're not willing to consciously adhere to any set belief, that they're willing to form their beliefs around a single man, that is Trump. And so I think saying that they're doubling down is maybe necessarily not necessarily inaccurate. I just don't think it tells the whole picture, which is that the Republicanism that has infiltrated the Republican Party isn't necessarily a political ideology, rather a cult of personality, centered around a single individual, that being Trump. So we take that into perspective, I think we get a little bit more clear of a picture that, maybe it isn't that they're doubling down. Maybe that's either, hey, how they've always kind of felt, or B, that they're doubling down on their cult of personality. I think that's a rough question, but that's the simplest answer. They just love Trump.
Senator, FCC must have got him.